Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us, we have something new from the folks over at Kansept, and I will start by saying that this was sent to me by the nice folks at Kansept, and I am very grateful for that. This is the Kansept Agent, and this is just a cool, straightforward pocket knife. Now, in this day and age, there are really lots of complex, grind, funky, titanium having, multicolor, weird lock. This is none of those things. This is a straightforward S35VN blade running on bearings. It is, they are titanium handle, right? Scales, look at that. They're just beautiful, straightforward, and simple. It has a really nice blue anodized backspacer with a little bit of a lanyard spot there if you're into lanyarding. Really, I love this knife for just what it is, which is just a straightforward pocket knife. And I think they've done a really great job at making just that knife. There is one, I'm going to just get out of the way. So the pocket clip lands just where the cutout for the lock bar is. It can hook up on your pants a little bit. Most of the lock clip is over here on this side of the scale, so it doesn't really do it too much, but it can hook up from time to time. Beyond that, this is really just a clean, easy carry. I love the way they've milled out the scales right here, right? So your finger fits very comfortably, right? And it's just a very, very comfortable knife in hand. It is a thick slice of S35VN. Some interesting choices were made in the manufacture of this knife. In a day and age when everybody's trying to go lighter and narrower and little tiny, slicey blades, Kansept went ahead and released a little bit of a workhorse beast here, and I am, I'm really on board with that. But let's take a look at what you get. We'll start there. This is, way back here by the pivot, 4 full millimeters of S35VN. And because it is a saber grind, it doesn't come down to what I would call a laser edge, but it does come down to a very nice and slicey edge. They've done a great job with the secondary bevel. The blade itself is a bit of a trailing point, as you can see. It has a lovely swedge across the top, and as I said, the rest is a bit of a saber grind, so there's a nice straight line across the blade that comes down to the edge from there. The tip is pointy, but also relatively robust. Should you need to do any dissuading of someone at a gas station, I don't recommend it, but it's there if you need it. This knife is comfortable in any grip. If you want to choke up on the blade, it is very comfortable. It is very comfortable for push cuts this way. It's just a great knife. And in the end, that's what Kansept has been making over and over again, from unique styles to unique new designers. Kansept knives have really landed this year, and they've done a great job. In fact, I haven't had a bad one yet. There are some that I like more than others, but I haven't had a bad one, and that's saying something. Kim Nang and the folks that moved over from Kaiser brought with them a pretty good understanding of what's going on in the knife world and what knife both users and collectors look for. And I think they brought a lot of that to their knives in a way that really makes sense. So let's take a look at what you get overall. As I mentioned, this is a little over 4 millimeters of S35VN. It is 1, 2, 3, a little over 3.5 inches of cutting on a little over 3 3/4 of S35VN. Grip space from behind the flipper, 1, 2, 3, 4 full inches, just shy, of 4 full inches of grip. The knife itself is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.25 inches long overall. It is a very sort of average size EDC. But I really like it. I like it because of what it isn't. There are so many, like I said, knives with complex blade grinds and tons of complex milling on the scales and funky locks and this and that and whatever. This is none of those things. This is a remarkably straightforward pocket knife, which means all of the effort and energy got to go into making it just a great carry, and they have. It's really very nice. The blade itself is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, which, again, from a collector's perspective is a little annoying, but from a user's perspective, who cares? Let's take a look at some size comparisons. Here it is against our dear old friend, the Bug Out. And as you can see, it is larger than the Bug Out, but not enormously so. As I said, it is a good mid-size carry. Here it is against the our old friend, the oh no, I'm sorry, this is the 4 Max. Sorry. And as you can see, it is considerably smaller than the 4 Max. But of course, everything is. What else do we have on the table that's fun? Ooh. Oh, this is good. Yep. Here it is against the ZT0562CF. Now, these knives have very similar length, right? Of course, just slightly different in many other regards. But I want you to look at something. The straight edge of the blade down to the way the handle is curved. The edge of the blade down to the way the handle is curved. These knives, even though they have different shapes, have very similar ergonomics in hand. If you like the 5.62, you will likely like the Agent. It's a little narrower, but very similar in hand. All right. Here it is against the Rat Model 1, just so because a lot of people have this knife. And as you can see, it is smaller than the Rat 1. I like it. You know, look, I don't have to. I'm not beholden to anybody. When Kansept asked me if I wanted to review this and some of the other knives, I said, sure. If I don't like it, I probably won't review it. Now, that is where I'm different from a lot of channels, and I recognize that. I get no pleasure in doing negative reviews. So if I buy a knife or somebody sends me a knife and I don't like it, I just don't review it. Because why would I want to spend my time doing angry, negative stuff? I have reviewed all of the Kansept knives. I haven't passed on a 1. Now, that's not true, actually. There's a couple that went out to a group of friends that I have before I got a chance to review it because I wanted to get it out there to the world. I just haven't done it yet, but I will do it when they get back. And that says a lot. I think it's 6 or 7 knives at this point that I've had the opportunity to look at from Kansept, and I have not passed on a 1. And I can't say that about almost any other brand. Lots of great companies make knives that I look at and go, nah. But so far, Kansept has nailed every knife that I have a chance to review, and I think that says quite a bit about them and the knives that they're making. Let's go ahead and weigh this out. I am curious. It is milled on the inside of the titanium. Let's go ahead and flip that open so we can get a look. Unfortunately, you can't really see it from your side, but there's decent milling on the inside of these scales, although it is a really thick blade, so I'm not really sure where this is going to land. Let's find out together. Oh, magic scale. Why are you on grams? No one cares about grams. 4.3 ounces, you know, for a 3 3/4 inch blade. Not too bad in all titanium. I wouldn't call it a lightweight, but it's relatively average. They have milled out the spot back here for the landing ramp for your finger from the flipper, and there are just a little bit of, there is just a little bit of jimping right there on the tab. The one thing I noticed about this knife right off the bat is, I don't know if I can fail it. Let me hang on. Nope. Let's try push button. Nope. The detent on this thing is really, really well done. You know, it really holds in. Hold on, let's listen to this. Wait. Hear that click? It sucks right back down into the detent, into the detent ball, into the blade. And man, I'll tell you, it makes for a really nice and snappy deployment. The blade itself is really reasonably clean. You've got the Kansept Knives logo right here. Below that, it says the model number. And I'm not sure what else that says. Hold on. Oh, that's the blade steel. I'm sorry. And then on this side, it just says Agent. Right there. Very small. Beyond that, this is an exceptionally clean knife. You do have 3 screws on the back side, 1 for the pocket clip and 2 to go through the back spacer. On the show side, you've just got the 2 screws and the pivot. It does have a little bit of a recurve. Now, one of the main designers for Kansept is a person named Kim Ning. And Kim Ning worked for Kaiser for a long time. And one thing I realized looking at my various Kim Ning Kaiser knives is that Kim Ning likes a little bit of a recurve. So at first I thought perhaps this was, yeah, maybe the grind's not right. But you know what? It's deliberate. Over time, I will, as a choice, I will probably sharpen the tail end of this blade before the belly, and I'll do what I can to get rid of that little bit of recurve. It's just not necessary, honestly, and I think a flat line across the bottom would be easier to keep sharp, and just in general make it a more user-friendly knife. But know that it's there. There's a little bit of a recurve on the blade. Honestly, I think that's about it. The Kansept Knives Agent is about $170, by the way. Not super expensive, sort of mid-range for a titanium S35VN flipper. But you get a really great knife. And if you're looking for just a straightforward, non-complicated, but well thought out and sorted everyday carry in good materials, I think that the Kansept Agent is a direction you should probably look. I know I'm glad to have one in the collection. This will be leaving me and Women Carry Knives now to run off and visit some other channels. If you see it on those other channels, feel free to stop by and say hi. I'm sure we'll be glad to see you there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the Kansept here or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. We'll see you next time.